I am quite literally in the lab, and I wanted to show you all a automation workflow that I've been working on. By the way, for those who have been following me, you may know that I am a digital nomad. I think that I have mentioned working in marketing, which I do. I work in the fintech industry, but also I am an entrepreneur at heart, and I love learning and just being at the cutting edge of technology and AI and business automation, which is an area that I have been exploring. And so basically, my philosophy is finding ways to automate repetitive business tasks, business operations that may happen on a daily basis. And so I met someone who works as a PR consultant, and he had shared with me a very time consuming problem and was curious if I could somehow begin to problem solve and solve the riddle for automating the time that he spends researching story ideas. And so we sat down, we had a discovery meeting, and basically I came to the conclusion that he uses Reddit to monitor conversations, to find conversations that are relevant to a client that he does PR work for. And then using those conversations, sometimes he responds to them, but other times he will sort of, I guess, document them and start to think about ways that his client can create content that educates consumers. So, all of that said, he spends hours researching story ideas and scrolling through Reddit and finding these relevant conversations. And so I have um, been working on a workflow that will hopefully automate this process for him. And so if you check out this workflow, it is very simple right now. In reality, it's not as simple as I'm hopefully making it seem, but I just want to give you all a really high level look at how workflow automation works and maybe inspire some of you all to start to learn about it and maybe even get into it yourself. I was inspired by a YouTuber who uh, shows some really amazing things and builds workflow automations and just shares all of his knowledge. So I'm sort of trying to do the same, but on a more introductory level, at least for now. So yeah, this is a um, it's a Reddit conversation monitor that starts with a trigger. I've set the trigger to run every morning at 5 a.m. That trigger essentially sets off this workflow that begins to um, ingest different subreddits as well as keywords that are relevant to the PR consultant's client. And then I I was just spending the last hour or so looking for a Reddit scraper that I can embed into this workflow. And so this Reddit scraper then takes that information, it visits different subreddits, and it just compiles lots of conversations that are happening on a keyword basis, and then back to n8n, which is the tool that I've been using, all of this information then comes back, and I have yet to build this part of it, but it's basically going to filter through all of the results, deduplicate any posts or conversations that were found, and just clean up the data, because then the next step or the next node that um, takes action is this AI relevance check, which just makes sure that the conversation that I had with the consultant was very much about the product that his or products that his client sells. And so these products are very particular. They are for the pet industry, and for a specific animal. And so just need to make sure that all of the data that eventually gets delivered in this morning email or morning update report is extremely relevant. So then once relevance is determined, it then will limit the results to 10 posts per day. I felt like, and this I think is something that I really um, appreciate in people who develop products or automate workflows, is you have to, I think, put yourself in the client's shoes and understand that if I were to send a message every morning at 5 a.m. and it has hundreds of results, it's just not useful, it's not helpful, and it's not practical. And the idea behind this workflow is to save time and to just act as a resource, as a tool that this consultant can use every single day. And so I'm going to limit the results to 10, because I feel like 10 results is very actionable, very easy. And if he were to spend his time on these results, that could end up being 30 to 45 minutes a day. And I feel like that is a useful deliverable from my end. So yeah, once all of those nodes or steps have been completed, the final step is to take this cleaned, formatted, relevant, deduplicated list of results and to send the brief, and hopefully again make this person's job easier, save time, and use technology in a way that really excites me. So this is the beginning of some workflow automation chats that I hope to share in the near future. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. I use n8n, so I would definitely check that out, and just look into workflow automation in general. And yeah, I'm always here as a resource, and hopefully over time I'll get more advanced, and I'll even take you into the workspaces and show you what I'm working on.